I think he's got to declare he can't play it both ways for much longer. And he's maybe doing this with the NFL to get something more out of the A's, a spot on the 40-man roster and more money in his pocket. And I totally would understand him doing such a thing. Got to use your leverage. I mean, how many different times do we talk about this, about professional athletes? And here's a kid who has dominated in the last year at the collegiate level to the point where he's the Heisman Trophy winner in football. He's terrific in baseball to the point where the A's used such a high draft choice on him. And he has a decision to make about which sport he loves the most. Interestingly enough, he is a 300 hitter with a little bit of pop in Major League Baseball. He's fast, as you might imagine, as well. So he's got the skill set to play for a long time in baseball, in which you can make, as we all know, a ton more money, fully guaranteed from Jump Street. And he may love football too. And the fact that he's not just running to baseball right now, where, again, he's not going to get hit all the time, and he's going to be dealing with a long schedule, sure, but it's not like the NFL, where I imagine there's no cold tubs every single time you're off the field in baseball. And so the fact that he is declaring for the NFL draft may just be because, as he told us when he called into the show before the Heisman Trophy that he won, he loves the sport. He loves playing it. He loves the camaraderie. He also loves the action. I think whenever you've heard him talk about the difference between football and baseball, he talks about the downtime in baseball, and that's during games. In football, I mean, something's got to happen once every 40 seconds, certainly when you got the ball. And there's the mental aspect of it. Sure, when you're in the batter's box, you got to figure out what pitch is coming and what the pitcher might be tipping or what the pitcher has done previously to you, and it is a mental game. But that's when you're in the batter's box. And you might be doing that in the on-deck circle. But until you're up again, until you're out there in the field, it's not like the NFL, man. It's not like football. It's not like collegiate football. So maybe he just loves the sport, right? Well, the only way that he can show NFL scouts and NFL evaluators that he loves the sport is by telling baseball he's done. And I don't know how he's going to play it out. I mean, he could play it out to the point where the A's tell him, sure, go to the combine. We love you so much, we're going to tell you, go to the combine and see what you can figure out, which is great for the A's. Good job on them to come out and say, if they want to do that, if they're so enlightened, knowing that the only way to get Kyler Murray to commit is to let him sow his wild NFL oats. We've all been in relationships before, and okay, maybe you want somebody long-term, and that person isn't ready to commit long-term until they see what else is out there, other fish in the sea. Maybe that's what you're doing right now by not calling the girl you took to the playoff game your date or your girlfriend, Mike. Still just trying to draw lines between your personal experience and what's going on with Kyler Murray, but I will stop now. Look, the A's can basically say what I just supposed. Go figure it out and then come home. Come home. We're here for you. And we won't hold it against you. If we're going to have a long-term marriage, we're going to have a long-term relationship, and we love each other. Go figure out if you want to have that dalliance with the NFL. And I guess what? The NFL, if the A's do that, is going to sit Kyler Murray down at the combine after he tops out at 5'9" and change. You see the athletic director of Oklahoma tweeted out the minute that he declared, or it came out news that he declared what he measured at Oklahoma last year. Less than 5'10", but more than 5'8". And that will be, I'll tell you what, the NFL Network, I don't recall in our combine days.
Filming the measurements?
Live, taking it live. Yeah. Taking the measurement live. The reason why we haven't done that is Roger Goodell, from what I was told, hated and thought it was too intrusive in the privacy of the guys who are out there in their underwear to stand there getting measured and holding that live. But I don't know if that's the case, then maybe we'll petition. Because that's a huge piece of news. how tall he is at the combine. So once that all hits, once that's done, and before he gets out there and spins it on the field, because we'll have to see him run, we're going to have to see him do all that stuff, every evaluator is going to look at him and go, oh, what's with the A's, Colin? Why haven't you told them that you're done? And he could sit there and go, well, I'm keeping my options open. It's about business. I love football. Oh, really? You love football so much? Why should we use a first-round selection on you if you're still thinking about playing baseball? I'm telling you. I'll repeat this line again, as I said yesterday, and I'll say it again. Talent evaluators in the NFL aren't the most well-rounded, enlightened individuals. I mean, there's life outside of football, but that's for faith and family. There's 3 F's. Faith, family, football. That is basically what most evaluators who live, breathe, eat football, put a roof over their head because they're in football and know that football is about keeping your faith and your family happy through football. There's 3 F's. There's no room for A's in the 3 F's. There's no room for A's. And they might consider there's room for A's if you play corner or you're running back or what. Maybe. Doubt it. Maybe. Quarterback? No. So before Nashville, for sure, he's got to tell the A's we're done. And he could try and play it both ways at the combine and get through all of the interviews, and he's an impressive young man. And he can look everybody right in the face and talk about how much he loves football, eats it, breathes it, for lunch, breakfast, dinner, brunch. But until he tells the A's, we're done now, he won't be believed. And if he wants to be drafted in the first round, certainly to make it a wash as to how much money he'd have to pay the A's back if he plays football. If he wants that paper, he wants that cash money, he's going to have to tell the A's we're done, because no one's going to. Why would anybody use a first-round pick drafting if he's going to turn around and say, they don't want to, let's put it this way, no NFL team wants to be in the position that the A's are in right now, where you use that pick and then all of a sudden you're asking the league office for a little bit of help in getting made whole again.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.